come up yet.
There you go.
No, there we go.
I'm gonna get my phone and make sure.
Please, please. All right, all right, all right. So we want to thank you for tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station, amongst other things that we broadcast here at Believe Radio. But every first Saturday of the month, we have on the Eyes of the Conscious Soul, the Caf'e Le Blue Lounge, where there are 15 to 45 minutes segments called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we always ask you just to chill out to our fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. On the corner, you can check out Caf'e Le Blue Lounge, which is the artist talk. We showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedian, gospel, and R&B rappers from around the world to across the bay, around the bay to across the world, across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. The other part of the corner could be Why I Dream. We highlight and honor the inventions and creative work of today's brilliant mind, along with geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. On the corner, you can also tap into She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where you will hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives, which are inspirational messages. Also, we are highlighting golden light affirmations to impart healing medicine in the soil of the brilliant minds on today. Every second Saturday of the month, it's called the Medicine Hour. This is with my co-host, Mr. George Pearson. We believe this is where we are building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community and the BIPOC community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential, and having mental wellness, healthy eating habits, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday of the month, we have Education is the Best Medicine. The founder and producer, Mr. George Pearson. Education is the Best Medicine is a non-profit charitable organization which is community-based, health educational advocacy-based, and a resource-based organization that uses public media resources, radio, newspapers, and church-based community health fairs to provide health information and education. We believe the vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen to bring a light to a very dark world. Every fourth Saturday of the month is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co-host, the Doc. We have the Voice, and we have the King of Hearts. The Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. We have real talk conversations with individuals, organizations, community leaders, business owners from around the Bay Area to across the globe who are making a difference in our community. And every fifth Sunday, we have the Voices That Care, and we highlight the voices of mental wellness and re-entry. But today you are tapping into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul with the Caf'e Le Blue Lounge and the Artist Talk, and my co-host, Mr.
Rose from DP Southern.
All right, and our new co-host,
Joaquin, the artist.
All right, and today, on the Eyes of the Conscious Soul, our theme is We Are Woke Out Here. And our special guest today is Tracy Williams. She is the creative arts teacher educator. I'll get that right. So before we get started, I want to thank you all for taking out time from your busy schedule for being here. As I said earlier, Miss B had a moment of the ancestors taking over. And I'm just asking the Lord to make sure that I am on the path that I'm supposed to be on, and opening up the doors and shutting doors that's not convenient and conducive to the work that I'm supposed to be doing for us, our community, and our ancestors. And because I know that just as well as at such a time as this, I know that I'm in the right place at the right time, like you said, in the right season, in the right year. We were birthed to do the work that our ancestors did back then when they were doing theirs. It's like we now are birthed to do what we're supposed to do. And I'm so grateful and thankful to have these brilliant minds that is around me all the time, that inspires me, encourage me to they love me. They love on me. And I'm grateful to them for that, and for community, and for my family. And I'm just so grateful for everybody that is in my life, my church family, my community. As I said, our community, what we have created. And we're asking that our community get in a community that is going to encourage and enhance our people and walk them through, and our youth and our babies, to where we're supposed to be as a people. We are brilliant, we are intelligent, we're smart, and we're not going to listen to what society says. We've been charged with the medicine. We have the medicine for our people. And I'm so great, and thank you. And we're going to do this thing out here. So I want us to, I want you, Tracy, first to just to introduce yourself. And then I'll say hello to your family and all that kind of stuff. But just tell me, just say hello to our audience out here.
Okay, what's up, everybody? My name is Tracy Williams, and I am a graffiti artist as well as an educator.
All right.
Arts educator.
Yes,
Right.
arts educator. And y'all know we about the arts. The Sistah P is a spoken word artist. So go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Oh yeah, peace. I'm Joaquin. Saavedra, I'm a karate 10. The artist. I'm an artist, muralist, and an art teacher. And yeah, that's right.
Cool. My name is Rose. Community organizer, activist, poet, musician, and current grad student at Educator.
You.
Nice.
Okay, well, y'all gotta say, y'all know we'd be dismissed if we don't say what organizations we work with now. What's the organizations?
Homies Empowerment.
All right. Yeah, I work with HHREC. Yeah.
And I work with the Freedom School.
The Freedom School.
Under
Yes.
Under Homies
We
Empowerment.
got some
All
power in the
right. Well, we
house
got
today.
power. We got the artist. It's called the artist talk.
That's right.
So definitely before we do anything, we definitely always like to say kudos to our families and our friends, because we know if it wasn't for them pushing us and holding us, we wouldn't be where we are today. So is there anybody you want to give kudos to and say, hey?
You know what? Yeah, kudos would be to one of my mentors. She actually, it was her funeral yesterday.
Oh.
And so I spoke at her funeral. Yeah, so I want to give kudos to her.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
And you
And
here.
we're carrying the torch.
That's right.
So
That's what I'm talking about. Family.
and to my family, I got a big family.
Hey, say okay. Say what's the last name or first name?
So many.
Okay.
It's long pony names. So yeah, shout out to the Williams Tokies and Toy Thomas and
That's what I'm talking about. Well, no, we standing on that, so it's all good.
So my shout out.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you think. Yeah, I mean.
Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your grandma. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I appreciate all my family, my friends, and y'all know who y'all are. Thank you for being you. Yeah. You
Thank
can hear me if I can.
They can, if you can just stay like you are, baby, they can hear you loud and proud around here, because these mics picks up everything. Go ahead, baby.
I just want to give kudos to like everybody that's navigating through like their own personal traumas, challenges, our unhoused allies, folks who battle mental health, and just like especially during season times like this, and just to congratulate them on like their resilience, and then like staying true to like persevering through that struggle and that challenge.
And that's real. That's real talk. That's real talk, and we see them, every day in our work and the things that we do. So with that, I wanted to ask you, the theme is we woke out here. So when you hear that, tell me what comes to your mind when you hear we woke out here? What comes to your mind?
We woke. I think it can mean a lot of things, but
Okay.
I think in this world that I come from, in terms of like being a social justice warrior and like embodying the medicine of like our ancestors,
Yeah.
and also like learning like on this journey, I think being woke comes with not being controlled, and I think it's this fight for liberation and spiritual freedom, mental freedom, and just having the capabilities and opportunities to pursue your wildest dreams and like be your ancestors' wildest dreams as well. So that's what comes to my mind. But I think woke can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah.
To people. To me, that's what it means to be liberated.
Okay.
Say that. That's right.
Joaquin?
For me, even need to be woke. Well, to be woke is to be aware. Right?
Mhm.
And I wasn't always aware myself. Right. So when you say, be woke, okay, cool. It's good to be woke, and it's good to, like, for me, I was young, I was depressed, and I was asleep. I didn't want to be woke. I didn't want to be aware. I was ignorant. So just being
And
woke.
ignorant means unlearned. So, it's just something that we don't, with society say ignorant is like it's a bad thing. No, you just don't know.
Right.
Something that you don't, the knowledge you didn't get the knowledge of. Go ahead.
Or you do know and you just ignore it.
Oh,
Right.
come on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that works great too, But yeah, just ignoring it, being aware, and I was hurting, So for me, it's like, okay, cool. Where I know what it means to heal. I know how. I might know how to heal. I don't have the right guidance, but I know what it means to heal. Right. And I don't want to heal because it's harder to heal than it is to hurt. Right. It's so easy to hurt.
That's right.
But
And that's what's happening. I'm glad you made mention of that. I'm glad that you made mention of the hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening instead of healing.
Right.
Hurt is easy. Like you said, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe.
No, it is easy, and yeah, that's suffering. Like there's a difference between suffering and hurting, right? Because we could hurt, we hear all the time. I stub my toe. Oh, that hurts.
Right.
But to suffer is to really go, oh my God, my toe. Oh my legs give me a bad day. Legs froze. Help me, my foot. So I'm not trying to suffer anything, but I was like that. So to make a short story long, I wasn't aware, and then I finally took the time to be aware, to be woke, and to love myself. So it's just getting that knowledge of self-loving yourself. It's getting that knowledge of what it means to be there and be present, and be aware, learn.
Yeah.
And that's what it means to be aware. It's to know. So that's what it means to be.
Thank you, brother.
No, just like I
Nephew.
said, aware. Like that's the first thing that I thought of too was, just being aware, but also being curious. I think those are the two words that come to mind.
Yeah.
Just being curious about everything, just being aware, and also being aware of the things that are not brought up, or the things that need to change. But those are the two things that I think of when I think of woke is just being aware and just being curious.
Yeah. And thank you for saying the word curious. Our children that's been taken away from them on the curious part, because we got social media, which is not bad, but it's just in the right way you use it for yourself that it won't be detrimental to you. But we've taken the imagination away from our kids being creative. And that's what I love about the artist talk. That's what I love about what y'all do. And that's what my next thing is, just to share about what kind of art that you're working on and what you do, because this is how you're feeding our community with the medicine that you've been given and that you've been chosen to do, which I'm so excited. And that's what this feeds my soul. It's called the Eyes of the Conscience Soul. And I created that. Well, the ancestors and Lord gave me that. Let me bag it up. And that's been for almost 30 years now. They gave me this title for the Eyes of the Conscious Soul, because I've been doing underground radio. Then I went from underground to, being on the air and being on the internet. So all of that. And then now back to this. So, but the Eyes of the Conscious Soul has been in existence for over 30 years. I'm 59. Maybe a good over 25, I can say. So, but yeah. So that's the freedom. Art brings you freedom. You know,
like
I
that
get
word.
I get so excited when you see people being creative. And what I love about art and what I tell the youth, there's no mistakes in art. So they were like, oh, Miss Barbara, no. You can take that, create something else. How do you make it a little different than what you thought was like messed up? And who told you that? Who told you that what you just made was not right? Was it because you've seen an image of something else that you think that people are telling you that's right? No, what comes from you, your soul, your spirit, it's good when you're doing the art. And then we transition, we go into a transformation. You know, some art it can be dark, some art can be this. It depends on where you are. You know, and that's what I love, the freedom about art and doing spoken word and because I sketch and draw. I'm gonna have to bring y'all my drawing, show y'all what I do too. Okay. So tell me about the freedom in what you do with the you said you do the graffiti and you do other parts of art.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Look,
Oh my
see,
gosh,
everybody
okay,
get
now I'm
light
starting
up.
to get excited. Okay.
You're supposed to light up.
Yes. Yes, my passion is the arts because as a kid, I struggled with words. And I grew up in a home where kids were seen, but they weren't really heard or understood. And so that's just the environment. So I turned to art. But there was one person though, it's my aunt. And she was so encouraging, and she would say, you know, maybe you should try to get your art into museums, or maybe you should try putting your art onto murals and walls. And everything that she has said, I've done. Ooh. And she's still alive.
Oh,
and so,
for her to see.
Yeah. So I got to tell her, I was like, I'm a product of your encouragement, of, you know, of your love, because she invested in me. And she poured into me. Not everybody did. Yeah. My mom didn't even support me. Right. But there was a moment where my dad, he let me draw all over the walls in the house, and my mom got so upset. We were renting the house.
Boy, what you doing?
Yeah, and she got so
letting him do
that. Yeah, she got so upset, and then and she said, you know, like, no, we're renting the house, and he said, just let her be happy. And then he said, just let her be happy because we can just paint over it. Oh, so that was something because I was given permission to paint outside of the box, the ideas continue to flow from there. And so now what I do, like with my students, is like I encourage them. I'm like, oh no, I was like, paint outside of the box, and just go big, right? Dream big. And so that's how it started. But when it came to graffiti, to be honest, so I grew up in Southern California, like for a couple of years before I moved out to the Bay, and we would drive out to downtown Los Angeles, and I would see graffiti on the walls. And the reason why we would drive out to Los Angeles is because when my parents came from the islands, there was so many of us, you know, it's a new culture, it's a new language, it's a new experience out here. So we had to live with family members. So it was normal for us to have 40 people deep up in the house, sweeping up in the kitchen, like, you know, in the garage. Like that was
making it work.
Yeah. And so we made it work, and it was only my father who was paying for everybody. And so he took on that responsibility while my mom stood in line for, you know, for welfare, social services, all of that. But my mom was like, I got to find a way to make money too. Yeah. So what she did was she became friends with some of the folks who at the fabric store in downtown Los Angeles. Yeah. And the garment district. Yes. And it got to the point where they said, if you come on Friday mornings between this time, you can actually dig out in the trash the extra scraps. And this is a story that I wasn't really proud to share because guess who had to dig in the trash can? It was me. It was me. And so, but I remember driving out there with relatives, and in our house, there was always like 4 or 5 families in there. And so it was me. But I remember having to jump in the trash can and grab all the bags because I didn't want any of my older elders and stuff to carry. I was like, no, don't trip. I got it. That's right. And but when we would drive back home, I would look at the murals on the wall. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, that is so beautiful. She was like, girl, no, find another hobby. That's graffiti. And I was like, but it's so beautiful. And the reason why I liked it was because it was on abandoned walls. It was misunderstood. Come on now. Yes.
Come
You
on
see
now.
where I'm
Oh, I
going?
know where
You
you're
get
going.
it.
I know where you're going.
It was misunderstood. People didn't understand it, and like, and there's a reason why folks did graffiti. I was like, it's a voice, and I felt like sometimes a paintbrush and paint can express the words that like my words better than words.
See, you're teaching and sharing with our community, because some people look at that and like, oh, what they doing, just painting, but not knowing that it's a voice, not knowing it's something from
stemming from something.
Come on.
And a lot of times it's not being heard.
Not being heard.
And not being understood. I was like, their voices are probably suppressed.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's how I interpreted it. But like everybody else around me was just like, girl, find another hobby and stuff. And I was like, no, I leaned in.
Yes.
Rather than leaning back.
Ooh, it's hot in here. I know we're gonna have to go. We gonna do some more of these talks. But what brought, and I'm gonna let y'all talk. What brought to my mind is when you said, Dad say paint over it, and that's in life. To me, that brought back to my life. I can say my life personally. I might have made mistakes. I might have went through this. I might have did that. But paint over it. There can be a fresh, new, something new every time that's revolving. So look at, to me, and when I was hearing you in the moment, sometimes we don't think that the thing that looks like it's the worst is the best, because it prepares you for who you are today. And that's why I try to encourage people, is like, good, bad, ugly, your story counts, because the story helped you build these bricks to build to who you are today. So you don't want to take away from them, even though some parts is hurtful. I understand. Believe me, I've been through a whole lot myself, but I've learned to look at it in a different perspective now. It's like, okay, if I didn't go through that, first of all, I wouldn't have the passion to do what I'm doing today. And the other thing is that I can really relate to you if I've been in that situation. See, we have a lot of folks that's trying to come in our community to do different things. You ain't been through nothing. You haven't walked the road in my shoes, none of that. So you can only read that from a book, but you can't really understand it unless you've been in it, unless you've been similar or close to it. So it's a beautiful thing that your brilliant minds is able to create. Is what they say is a cliche, with purpose out of pain out of and pain into purpose. But to me, it's your light getting lighter and lighter and lighter, and you're now a blossoming, and you're shedding the light to the world, because we all go through darkness. And my darkest times is where I was able, that was my best teacher. My darkest times, now that's what I'm saying, my different perspective of how I look at things in life. My darkest times were the times that were preparing me for who I am now. And when you said social services, so my parents own Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery in San Francisco.
Oh,
in the Bayview District on 3rd Street. Yeah, all day.
Up the street from
all
the
day.
Southeast
Yes,
Community Center.
yes, that's my parents.
Okay,
That was Wendy's.
okay.
Wendy's, yes. So in that, because I wanted to stay working with the parents, and I'm gonna go off into it. I'm just saying something for a reason. Is that staying with the parents, I couldn't get the funding, or they couldn't pay me what they, because it was a family ran business. Of course, you're not going to, that's hard work, and sometimes you don't get paid at all. So I had to, on my end, raise my kids with social services and different things like that. When I would sit in the social services office, I'm sitting there watching how the people behind the desk treated the people on this side. And I kept saying to myself, one day, Lord, what I want you to do, please open up a door that I can then sit and share and encourage these other folks that's behind these counters. Don't look at folks that way, because you could, first of all, be sitting there. The other thing, I want them to know their power. When you come in there, you are power. And so how I treated them, they will wonder, oh, she's in social services. And they looked at me a little different. Yeah, you looked at me a little different because I demanded and commanded, but everybody don't have that voice until you empower them and encourage them. That's what arts does too. So with that, I'm telling you, and now the spaces and the things that God allowed me to do, I'm doing. But I haven't got there to do that yet. And somebody gonna let me get with the social services. Y'all hear me out here? I want to be able to go into those spaces where those young folks are in and people where they are and let them know just because you're there, that does not mean nothing. But it takes a brilliant mind to say, I need to have this, put these different things together. And that's how we surviving out here. So don't look at me as though I'm nothing. No, I'm woke. I'm woke out here. And that's my passion. Is I know my passion. God gave it to me, and I'm not going to let anybody take that from me. Is that I am an encourager. I am one that's supposed to inspire people and to know that it doesn't matter where you come from, what you've been through, you are somebody and you can make it. And that's me. And I'm holding that, I'm honoring that. And if no one else understands me, y'all do. My community understands me and why I do the work that I do. Because it was just talking about the other day. And I'm going to stop off this. This young lady said, Sister B, my son wanted to go into this program, but this program really wanted to work with people or young men that already really had it together. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to work with the one that I work with in the trenches, in the streets. And I told her, I said, that's okay. I have an organization. I have Homies Empowerment and I have HHREC. So I was able to share with her some resources, but I'm like, I got folks that work in the trenches. This is what Homies Empowerment does. We work, and HHREC, we work in the trenches. We work out here. We're doing the work that we're supposed to do. Thank you, baby, as a people. So, and that was, I guess, that just gave me my answer to why I'm feeling a certain kind of way, is because I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to work with organizations like this. But they see me, they really know my heart. They know me. And I can be my authentic self. Right. And I'm going to be that. And that's why I encourage people and for folks to be your authentic self, no matter what you're going through. So I just had to say that. I'm so sorry. And y'all, I know y'all got some, like, be quiet. But okay. So, but go ahead, tap in, babe, if you want to say anything. Not for the questions yet, but for, yeah. No. With we're talking about the art, your creative, what you do. Because you are this young man. I can, y'all know how Miss B get down. I don't mean no harm. I'm your auntie, so they say some love young man, boy, but I know you're young men and you're geniuses and you're brilliant minds. I know that. But the work that you do, oh my God. Painter, artist, and your clothesline. Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, my clothes and my art, it all goes back to my mission, Mm-hmm. So what is my mission? Well, my mission is to promote the idea that you need to have an outlet. Like I said, I've been through some dark times, and I know how important it is to have an outlet, especially when you're distracted, right? Because we got so many distractions going on today, and it's easy to go to distractions, mm-hmm. Like, hey, you walk right outside, you see, pleasures, right? That's not real. That's not real.
Temporary.
That's temporary. That's not real joy.
That's right.
And joy is art. Joy is miracles. Joy is this, right?
Yeah.
Here. Right?
It feeds your spirit.
Oh yeah.
And your soul. I'm like, whoop. Oh, yeah. So your business is where?
So my business is on, you can learn more about me and my business on www.stayrooted.studio. So that's www.stayrooted.studio. But yeah, all my stuff just goes back to that idea that, hey, we got to have our outlets, because if we don't choose our outlets, then they're going to be chosen for us. Mm-hmm. Same way, if we don't choose who we are, we're going to be told who we are. Mm-hmm. And I've had that happen, You're like, hey, I'm trying to, you're this or you're that, I'm like, okay, well, you'll believe it because you don't know who you are, But yeah, all my clothes and my art, it all goes back to that same idea, that you have to have an outlet to really be joyful, mm-hmm. to have be overcome by these distractions that are so prevalent today.
That's right.
I appreciate what Joaquin and Tracy shared earlier around awareness and curiosity, I think just being in the town, there's a beautiful legacy of like artivism, right? Art and activism combined. And I think that's just been like this movement of like making, wanting to better our community irresistible, right? Like when you're a young kid growing up in a town and you see these murals of like activism and art, you just like, I want to do good in my community, right? And I think for me, growing up in a town, like a lot of trauma and scars from like seeing different forms of art, and oftentimes the damaged forms of art. And when I say that, it's like walking through blocks and seeing candlelights and airbrush graffiti, walking down the block and seeing folks who passed and like there's memorial and stuff like that. And I'm just like, a lot of that trauma, and I felt like my voice was suppressed because a lot of the pain that I was going through was told through my eyes. It wasn't told through my voice.
Say that again.
A lot of the trauma that I went through was shown through my eyes and not my voice. And I think being a poet and then growing up, I had to reclaim my voice because trauma claimed my voice and not who I was aside from that pain.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Woo, I have to go through this part over here. Okay, thank y'all for tuning in and tapping into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul brings to you every first Saturday of the month is the Caf'e Le Bleu Lounge, which is the artist talk, and it also could be why I dream. And she who believes takes off the mask. And of course, we got hood scholars up in here. And every second Saturday of the month is the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson. Every third Saturday of the month is Education is the Best Medicine with Mr. George Pearson. And then every fourth Saturday of the month is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show, with which my co-host, the Doc, and Diego from from Homies Empowerment. And then we got the Doc, Chad, not the Doc, Lord have mercy, the Voice, Chance, he's from HHREC. And then we have KJ, he's from HHREC. And then, of course, the fifth Saturday of the month is called Voices That Care. And we highlight and inspire and we share about mental wellness. And we also talk about reentry. So we highlight the folks that's doing the work in our community. And again, when we say woke, is what I have is warriors on kingship with excellence. So that's when we say we woke out here. That's what we're standing on. We're standing on us being warriors out here in our community. We're king at what we're doing, and we serve our community with excellence. So with that being said, I know we talked about the intro. We did what you're doing no, we didn't. And before we go there, we'll get to yours. What are you actually doing in the community as of right now? Is there anything that you want to highlight that you're doing? And then again, make sure people can contact you and share your social media, however you want the people to contact you. But anybody can start.
Yeah, my fault. Go ahead. Thank you. Dude, I mean, you said, what did you say? You said actor. You said artist.
Artivism.
Artivism. That's hard, man. Cause look, I got my thing. So you asked, what do we have?
What you're doing in the community?
Yeah.
Because you are a programmer. What are you doing at HHREC?
I work with them to teach art classes.
Okay. She's our teacher. Go ahead. Educator.
You already know.
But go ahead.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, what do I do in the community? So the first thing I want to highlight is, man, it's dope that you said that because I got a thing coming out called the Oakland Active Artists. So that is just a community of artists, because we're so disconnected, at least from where I'm standing, you try to find more artists, and it's not easy to find other artists to connect to, find guidance. Like for me, I've done my first mural, and I'm trying to find a second mural to do. And I have spaces, I don't have funding. There's a lot of problems as artists that we need to address and we need help with. Yeah. So just to be have a community where we can specifically for visual artists.
Mm.
We could go and say, hey, I need help with this mural. How do I get funding? Or I need help with that, specific things, to have an organization or a little community for that would be beautiful, So I have some coming out called the Oakland Active Artists, where we're going to be just having a little community where we could go and ask questions and have a little bit of help from each other, So that's coming out soon. So stay posted on that. Okay. That's on www.stayrooted.studio. You can find more updates on that there. And what else do I do? So I also teach art class to the team, like I said, with Educator, ROSENITY, man, we getting in depth with it too. We got different things for every art class. I'm telling you, look.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Yeah, that's y'all know I had the questions ready. Y'all be thinking about this stuff,
I think about that too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. Great minds think alike.
There you go.
So yeah, we dive into questions like what is value, what does it mean to have an outlet, what's all these different questions I have in my classes, and we try to reflect that through the art class because it's deeper than just art. And yeah, we do that through art class. We realize how deep it is, and we go into depth.
Okay.
The only way out is in.
Hey, come on now.
But yeah, I do that, and also I do. That's what I do in the community. That's it for now. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Look, go ahead, Tracy.
So I am the arts educator at the Freedom School out in Deep East Oakland, and my art classroom is at the Chabot Space Science Center. And my goal is to teach the kids that they could turn their passion, they can make an impact while making an income.
Ooh, come on now.
That's important to me.
That's
I don't
important.
know. It must be a town business thing. Like, who's about that action? You know what I'm saying? We're always gonna find ways.
That's right.
Yeah, it's that hustler mentality.
Okay.
And so I come in with that, and I actually customize hoodies. And so back in the day, I shout out to East Oakland though, because it was Oakland that appreciated my art, my artistry, and the way that they appreciated my artistry was they rocked my shirts during the hyphy movement. They not only did they rock my shirts, but they paid me well.
Right.
And so it was quite normal for me to paint like in trap houses and churches and all the way from the Dubs to Trey 5 but mostly Shady 80s. That's where it was mostly appreciated. But I'm so grateful, and my students wanted me to bring that style back, and I was like, that's a really old style, but
it's new.
Yeah, and
to them, it just
and so surprisingly, they asked for it back, and I was like, okay, I'm about to teach y'all. So we got airbrush machines, and so now my goal is to and they also got to paint murals with me. My goal is to find murals for them. I want them to experience art beyond the art classroom, and so that's my goal, is to take them. Take those skills, apply it into community, take it back to the community.
You got me want to join your class.
It's fun. Well, at least I have.
We all together. We all together.
Yeah. So that is so that's what I do there. But I also am a trauma art informed workshop facilitator.
Okay.
So I also host paint nights out in EPA, in East Palo Alto.
Yeah.
So we just going from one hood to the other.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like God is always bringing me back to the hood every time I try to leave.
No, you're supposed to be over here because you can relate.
Yes.
And people, that's what I was trying to say earlier. You need to get in a space where the people can relate to you. Yeah. It's like, I'm like, why are you? No, kidding. I'm talking to, I'm just when people are doing things or facilitating, I'm like, okay, well, why are you over on this side? Because we can't. Go ahead. That's just something inside humor.
And that's why we got to show up. And that's why we got to stay consistent too. Yeah. Because our kids need to see consistency.
Yes.
And they also need to see that somebody cares beyond their family.
Yes.
That is something really important. And I'm the type where because I grew up around folks who.
The village.
Yeah. Some folks. Not so not everybody from the village. Right. Not everybody from the village wants the kid.
They're old.
But there are people who do care.
Yes.
And so I'm very grateful that I had aunties and uncles outside of my culture.
That's
because there were times where I felt more welcome in the Black community than I did in my own. And they took me underneath their wings. They first introduced me to the hot comb over the stove. And then they're like, let's help your kitchen out. I'm like, I don't even know if people use the word kitchen anymore, But anyways, like my mom didn't even know how to do my hair, and I was just like, okay, we don't go to the Black community. I was like, they know how to do my hair. So shout out to Big Sis Taya for taking me under her wings, and to all my friends at BSU in high school. But anyways, I'm keep on going. But so I teach trauma art informed workshops for Wellness Wednesday programs out in EPA.
Okay.
And then I'm also a traveling artist. I work with youth in custody.
Oh, yes.
That's my passion.
Yes.
I grew up, my brothers were always in and out of the system.
Yeah.
And I knew why they were in and out of the system.
Okay.
Their outlet, it wasn't safe to express bereavement.
Yeah.
And the effects of divorce.
Yeah.
But I was that sister that was always at the court cases, and I was always the one that was around.
Right.
And graffiti, the hood loves graffiti. So that's where I was at majority of the time. But I got to know them on a different level. Sometimes I felt like the street dudes were more just more kinder and just more loving than folks at church.
That's right. That's right.
And so and they
were those ones out there too.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, me, I let you know I'm come from streets too. One thing that I was not to one thing, but what I was so grateful about, I understood business and streets. So my cousin taught me streets. My dad taught me the business, so I know both sides. So it's like, look, don't forget where you come from. Right. And the people that's in there sitting on the pews, don't forget where you come from, because you went through something, but you now are in here helping and trying to get your life together. But other folks have been that, bring them along, but don't look down on them because of what they're doing, because we supposed to inspire and help. Go ahead.
I feel like there's a disconnect
between
like even the elders and like the young folks, like, because I'm grateful for the folks that reached out to me and they're like, let me give you free game.
Come on.
Yeah. Like, I'm so grateful for them because of them, I was able to get ahead to the point where they would be like, please don't go down this path.
Yes.
Mind you, I was around, drug dealers and all of that.
Yeah.
I knew where the guns were at.
Okay.
I was the one who looked.
No.
I did not load. But oh, great.
You keeping it. No, you keeping it real.
But the thing is that it was so normal. It was. I
the abnormal becomes normal.
And I didn't know that it wasn't normal until I moved out of the country.
Right.
I moved out of the country and I was like, oh, and I was like, right. Oh, okay. I was like, well, we climbing out the mud, like, but anyways, so I paint with youth in custody. My goal is to connect with museums and with juvenile justice systems, as well as equity and multicultural affairs, like divisions and organizations, to provide opportunities for our kids in juvie.
That's right.
That's my goal. And I got a lot of backlash for it, but still fighting the good fight. I still believe in it. And so that's what I'm doing now.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for sharing that.
That
was very powerful.
Yeah.
I run my own youth program, Dreams, Arts, and Activism. And I think that dream pretty much started with the focus of like building bridges amongst like our communities in Oakland, and specifically around like different ethnic identities. I think in the town, like even though like we're really diverse, there's different movements that's happening, and like folks aren't really talking like that. And folks are kind of operating independently. And
it's not, we're not, what is it? I say it all the time. We're not in competition. Stop the competition,
people. Not the woke Olympics.
Come on, say that again. Say that again, please.
I know this ain't the woke Olympics.
Come
right?
on.
And I think if we want to talk about collectivity, it starts with the dreams of our young people as well, right? Because at one point we were young people, and decisions were made by adults without our input. And I think with Dreams, Arts, and Activism, I wanted to educate our young people. I also wanted them to tap into their intergenerational wisdom. And like, I'm so tired of talking about pain and trauma. Like, let's heal through that, right? By tapping into this different form of like healing, right? Through our ancestors. So Dreams, Arts, and Activism is that place for them to learn, while also tapping into their artistry, poetry, jazz music, or like just anything that they have in art. Like, I'm tapping into that.
That's right.
Once we learn more about that.
If you follow Homies Empowerment, you'll see like just the program. We hold 2 art shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
The young people organize it. Oh,
Yep.
that's another thing.
Say it.
Young people are organizing these
Yes.
events and art shows. I'm just an adult ally to them. I'm not their boss, their leader. I'm their adult ally. Like I'm building partnerships with them so that they become agents of change. So
That's
that
right.
they can reform their communities in ways that they can resonate to, change.
Yeah, I told y'all we got some power in the house.
Okay, community. Do you understand why I get fed all the time? This is my medicine.
And also,
These young folks.
one last thing.
Go ahead. No, there ain't no
one
last
last
thing. Keep saying what you want to say.
Tracy, I've had the privilege and honor of partnering with Tracy, who is the art teacher for my young people.
Yes.
Joaquin, we connect after this. I think this is how it starts.
That's right.
Having these conversations, these real conversations, and get the moving, right? Being
right.
Yeah, why we can't be, just operating individually, so the system is strong, but we are unstoppable.
Come on. That's it. Yeah. And to get our young folks to understand that and to continue, like you were saying, the wisdom of the generation, to get them to be able to work together and letting them know we need, like you were saying, that we had other people that was able to teach us wisdom too, and give us that what we need. It's like a whole, we need all of that. But the other part is that society and other races are trying to take away our culture from us. So that's what it's a lot that's missing, because it's taken away from what we do, how we get down. Now they getting down like we getting down. We following something else, like no. Follow back what we do. How we engage with each other, and making sure. I love the saying in Ubuntu is like, I see you, you see me. I see you. And people think I'm crazy because when I walk down the street, I speak and I smile at people, I say hi, and the whole nine. But it's like that's what we're supposed to do. And in the hood, yeah. And then, but even when someone is doing something they ain't got no business or whatever, they may harm themselves or harm somebody else. I'm the auntie. I don't come off like, oh, you really do. No. I do it in love. And they be like, all right, auntie. Yeah. But there's a way that we interact with each other. And I love you. That community love. I ain't just trying to like be better than you or that kind of stuff. That's not me. It's never been me. And never I would. Yes.
Man, you said someone of you guiding them. I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a message, right? Man, and you're talking about having financial literacy too.
There we go.
With what you do with art, that's a big thing too, because a lot of my peers, they're like, I don't want to. Why would I get out this life? Why would I want to change? Well, that money, right?
Yeah.
So you can have that money, then that's why they're still in it, right? So if we could show by example, like, hey, we could come out of any situation we want to if we can have money and we could do it the right way, then we won't have to be shackled down. We won't have to be chained to things we don't want to be chained to.
That's right.
Connected to things that are bad for us, right? So that's a big thing that you can show the youth by example, like, hey, we're out here and we're successful. We're making a living off of what we love to do. We're not making a living.
And it doesn't feel like a job.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a job. It feels as though when you're in purpose, it doesn't feel like it's a job. And that's the beauty about what you're saying. Go ahead.
That's real. That's passion. That's passion. That's that love and that pain. But you love to do it. It's not just pain. I'd rather have love and pain than just pain any day of the week.
Yes.
7 days, 8 days of the week. Come on, I'll do it.
That's right.
I love you. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. We gotta start being examples for each other. And leading by example. Like you said, we're allies. We're not, do this, do that. We're not like teachers from
the overseers. We're not no overseers. We just want you. When you inspire, it says if you teach a man to fish, he'll fish. But all we're doing is giving them awakening the gift that's already in them. It's there. We just want to like nourish it and inspire you because of what we see, that we know that who you are. And a lot of people don't know who they are, and it's because of the trauma, and it's just because of the pain. It's because, but in my lane, and what I hope and pray that I continue to do is just inspire people, you know, and like I will always tell them all the time, my platform is your platform. So this is not about me. And I know that the work and the things that I'm doing is never about me. It's never been about me. When I was younger, I thought it was about me. I hate, you know, and but now I understand it was just my purpose will help my community, and being able to tap into that's strength. You know, that's freedom. I'm back to the freedom because I wants to be free, you know, and you be free around like-minded people. You be inspired, you get ignited. Your passion comes when you're around people that can, like you just say, your aunt, she planted a seed with the graffiti, you know, when she told you, what you say your auntie told you?
Well, you know what?
Well, the auntie, wait.
Well, you know, yes, it was my aunt. Like any idea that I would bring up to her, she'd
Yeah.
say, why not? It was those two words. I
Okay.
ran with it. Like I ran with it, and I'm still running.
Can we all say that at the same time? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3. Why not?
On my mom.
That's what on my mom. That's what we're here to say to our community. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, and then the people. We just asking y'all to tap in, like you said, resources. We need resources. Please get in contact with us. And we need resources to do the work that we're doing in our community. And along with that, not I created, but God gave me this nonprofit. Well, I was going to do the work, whether it was a nonprofit or not. And it's called BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. And it means begin healing brilliant minds. So with that, we inspire youth to take control, and young adults to take control of their own destiny. And then we give them the tools that they need to reach their fullest potential. So all the work that I do now, some of the work that I do, other than my soul work workshops, that's under my Barbara Howard Consulting. That's something totally different. So that's the healing part that I do, you know, and the healing workshops that I do. And that's what I, with Homies Empowerment, been knowing Cesar for over 20 years now. And we've been working, and the idea and conversation, what's beautiful to me, we sat in a room talking about what he wanted to have. And now it's here. Oh, I'm so stoked. It's like plant the seed. You can see it coming fruition and being around. And if it is anything that you're doing, this is what I believe. This is just me. Whatever you're doing that's supposed to be a part of purpose, it will make room for you and for the community and resources. Folks, resources is going to come our way for us to continue to do the work. We're looking for philanthropists to come on and pay the way for us now. Look at here. This is what we're asking for. And we have my other thing that I always wanted to say to the football players, the basketball players, tap back in. Find people in the community that's doing the work. When you were sitting in your room somewhere, and now that you are a star, you can remember where you were sitting and what you needed and what you wanted. And we're just asking for them to come back and tap into us. You ain't got to do the work. Just give us the funds. We'll do it. We're doing it, you know. But I just want them to remember the importance of them coming back to their communities or a community and give back. And Mr. Fat, there we go. And we had that thug therapy yesterday. You know, with my job, Nami Contra Costa, collaborated with him to do the thug therapy yesterday. But however, this is what we do.
Yeah.
You know, this. Oh yeah, sure you can.
So you talk about we need finance, we need funding. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I would love to ask y'all, what else do artists need? And I can start it off, you know, man, we need, like you was a great example of this financial literacy. You know, we need professional communication. Right? We need to articulate ourselves in a way that's, you know, if we're showing ourselves, and we could be, you know, pretty clear and intentional with how we're saying it, you know. And that's something that's a training. I'm not good at. Yeah. The training. I have to learn that. Like, man, it's so easy to just like mumble and talk like. But yeah, what was it? Yeah, professional communication. What else? man, a way to connect to mainstream. Like, 'cause you're talking about this earlier. You're like, yeah, we getting misrepresented by people who aren't in our culture, but they're representing our culture. And the only way that we can change that is by replacing it. So we would have to be the ones representing that our culture. You know, it's better than than to, you know. But yeah,
They seem to think that they could do for us better than we can do for ourselves. But that's just the way it
is.
go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just the way it is. You
So
know?
lock us in, let us
Yeah.
do the work.
But that's one thing we need to, right? We need to have that that knowledge on how we can actually go to the mainstream. But those are just the things that I was thinking about, you know. But what do y'all think that artists need? You know?
I think they need direct access to art opportunities, and also mentorship, and also I think those are the two main things that I can think of. I'm grateful that I had a mentor who did that for me, and she took me underneath her wings, and she had over 30 years of experience, like with the San Francisco Public Arts. Mind you,
that's a wealth of wisdom.
yes, and so, and I felt I felt fortunate to be amongst her presence.
Yeah.
Because the spaces that she introduced me into, there was nobody that looked like me. There was no person of color. I was the only one, but I was comfortable in my skin.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
And I saw other folks uncomfortable.
There we go.
Me comfortable.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I was like, I don't need y'all. Y'all need me. Right.
Say that.
Yeah.
And they get educated and they get their degrees off of you.
Yes. And then next thing you know, like, and then they and then they would look at me like, oh my gosh, you can articulate your words so well. And I was like, oh, there's more to it. I was like, but we giving it in dosages, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. You know, but they at first like they would talk down on me, but then once when they heard of my partners and my networking circle, then all of a sudden
it's changed.
But by then I'm like, oh no, I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, I don't need y'all. And then I would just keep it moving. But to be given that space and that invitation,
yes,
because that invitation only led me to want to build my own table.
Ooh.
And so it led me to want to build my own
about.
table, because I looked at it, I was like, y'all uncomfortable talking about ideas. I was like, my ideas might be too big for
y'all.
Oh, I was like, or maybe too big for y'all city. Let me take it back to East Oakland.
Can you say that?
I was like, I got visions for the open arts. So especially in Deep East Oakland, we want to keep it in Deep East Oakland.
That's right.
But it was just access, and it was access to directors. It was access to other sponsors and funders. And now we are on a first name basis. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, oh, if I need y'all.
Right.
Yeah. Mentorship and direct access to public art opportunities, because a lot of artists don't know where to go. They don't know where to go, but all of a sudden there's other folks who have direct access, and I'm like, there's a disconnect. Especially for those in the hood. Like, you know, I'm like, oh no. I was like, good things can come from the hood. We got good people in the hood. So, but it was just that direct access.
If y'all listening, come talk to us. We are here.
Yes.
I think what artists need, right? I think artists need, for me, I'd say sacred spaces and sacred people. And when I say that, I think like, you know, just during my time of like working with like young artists and like young people, there's been countless times where like I'm that sacred person to them. Like getting that call like 8 p.m. like I'm going through something right now. Right. And there's nowhere else to go. As an artist, like you don't always want to just sit with your traumas and like the pain that you're going through, right? You want to have that sacred space. And Tracy works at the Freedom School. And some of those kids, their sacred space is the Freedom School. Right? And some of their sacred people in person is Tracy. Right. So I think this just goes back to like that mental wellness concept, and like why we need these sacred spaces and sacred people, because it's a collective effort to like have internal like healing.
Right.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun. We have 2 more minutes. Almost like 1 more minute. Boy, it went really, really fast. However, we will do this again. We will continue spreading the knowledge and the wealth and to our community. And I'm so grateful to have my nephew, Rose.
Back.
Hey, he back. I'm like,
3 months.
where my nephew at? Okay. But it's all good. You know, you needed the time. You needed to do what you do. And I'm a firm believer in this divine time, divine order. And I got that from Ayana Van Zandt years ago. And it's like everything is, if I look at it in the way that it's supposed to be, it's for me, it's gonna be, you know. So what we doing, this was thought of years ago, long time ago. I didn't know, but God said, I need you to have that. You get Rose, and everything is connected. So this is what I love about the Lord and the ancestors. It's like, y'all just doing what I told y'all to do. If you listen, you know, and just do it. So this is not new. It's new to us because we're together. But however, they've been knowing that this is what this day was going to come for us to connect together. And we have some things that we're going to do in 2024 that we're going to do a project together. And we're going to do that. I just can't wait to tell y'all off the air. Well, we talked about the skits and plays a little bit, but we about to do that. So I'm so excited about that. And I did make mention Diego know the whole nine. So I'm excited about that, Tracy. We about to do some stuff out here. And I definitely want you all give them your social media contact information again. Now, if y'all wanted to, because they owe me a show. Last week I couldn't go on the show, but I can always do another. I have 2 shows. I can always do another one that we don't have to finish here. We don't have to continue to go. But I would definitely love to bring you back in and constantly bring you in. But I have some shows that we got on the house to be able to bring to our community. Give them your social media, your first name, your last name, your social media information, and the name of your business.
My name is Joaquin Saavedra McCarthy. My business is called Stay Rooted. You can find it at www.stayrooted.studio. My Instagram is Stay Rooted 510 for my clothing account, and my artist account is Joaquin the Artist 510. Yeah, come check me out. Yeah. That's it.
And,
yeah, you go ahead.
Oh. And then my Instagram is Trace Williams 15.
Oh, wow.
Trace Williams 15.
That's right.
That's easy.
Yeah, very easy.
I gotta help the auntie over here. Like, what y'all say? No kidding.
My IG is Rosenity, ROSENITY. Founder of Dreams Arts and Activists and future PhD holder.
Hey, because I do want to ask you about the school. So my contact information is BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. The website that you can go to is www.bhbrilliantminds.org. And the email is bhbrilliantminds@yahoo.com. You can also check me out on Believe Radio, Barbara@gmail.com. We want to say goodnight. We want to thank you. Please love on your loved ones, love on yourself, and know that you are important and stay woke because we are woke out here. I will have my guest back in here with me. Of course, my co-host,
Rose from DP Stockton.
Hey, on my mama. And
Joaquin.
All right. So we shall have you, Tracy, back in here, and we got work to do.
Right.
I'm excited. I am like, oh, now y'all done fed me my medicine, what I needed. So now my brain is going like, got all kinds of stuff thinking about to do. But again, you have tapped into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station that comes to you every day, 24 hours. However, the Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sister B Mellow comes to you every first Saturday of the month. We have the Caf'e Le Blue Lounge with my co-host
Rose from DP Stockton.
And sorry, Joaquin. And then every second Saturday of the month is called the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson. And then we have Education is the Best Medicine with Mr. George Pearson. And then we have the Doc, and we have the Prince of Hearts, and we have The Voice. And that is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. And then every fifth Saturday of the month, we have Voices That Care, and we bring in individuals to talk about mental wellness and reentry. So we want to say good night to you. Definitely. I got to thank my sponsors. We have Barbara Howard Consultant. We have Pastor Larry Austin from the oh Lord Gospel Ministries, and we thank you, our community. We want to thank you for the work that you're doing, for the love that you show to us. And we want to thank you for tapping into the Artist Talk with the Hood Scholars. You heard them today. I know they gave you some medicine that will feed your soul, your spirit, your family, and us. And we want to say kudos out to, of course, the Freedom School at Homies Empowerment. Please contact the Freedom School. Go on our website. You can also go on Facebook. But I just want to give you a little bit of history of the Freedom School. The Freedom School is a grassroots community effort seeking to serve 120 students in Oakland, California. The Freedom School will launch, and we have already launched it in the fall of 2023 as a full-fledged independent high school. We want you to go and learn more about the Homies Empowerment Freedom School. And we have the Freedom Store, we have the Care Center, and we have, what was that, baby? Freedom Farm, and we have one more.
Homies Helping Homies.
Homies Helping Homies, Fishes and Loaves. And what is our other one? Care Center. So just tap into Homies Empowerment, because we doing a thing out here in our community. And definitely also HHREC. We definitely want you, the executive director, Talia Bennett. She is the bomb, people. I love her. We appreciate her, and Dr. Cesar Cruz, and Dr. Mrs. Cesar Cruz, Jazzy. We love you. We love y'all. We love y'all. And Pastor Larry, we love you. And thank y'all once again. And family, we love y'all.
That's right.
Like, excuse me. Y'all have a good weekend, and peace out.
Peace.
Stay woke out here.
Glad we woke.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good. Good dog, y'all. Huh? Hey, that was fun. Y'all killed that too.
Wait.
Y'all killed that.